All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio.com. Today is Sunday, January 4th, and what I'd like to do today is first start out by taking a look at the Dow, the SPY, and the Nasdaq, and the Russell. And the reason I want to do that is because we have to know our markets. No matter what we're trading, we have to know what the market's going to do. And if you don't know what the market's going to do, then you're just shooting blanks because it's an electronic trading world, and if the market's going to crash or run, your stock will either crash or run. It just happens that way. So let's get right into it. I'm going to try and do these every Sunday so everybody can take a look at it, and then I'll get into some individual stock picks. IWM, just to let you know, I have a beautiful little gap down here at 93, and we're going to keep an eye on that because that thing needs to get filled, and it will get filled, but that's in the longer term, not the shorter term. What are we looking at for the short term? Okay, short term, we have a nice little rollover going on right now. Nothing too exciting, but things are starting to pull back a little bit. As you can see, what I filled in the RSI, so you could see it a little bit clearer here, and you can see it's at 61, starting to turn down a little bit. No big deal. And your ADX is heading down. Your stochastics crossed to head down, and your truth strength index also crossed down, which is fantastic for a downside move. All right, so what I want to do is just look at a little gap area right here. It looks good right there. Almost got it, but it didn't quite get it. Potentially here on this downside move, you have, right now, all you want to do is draw out your candles so you can, draw out your trend line so you could, basically get an idea of what's shaking here. And, from there to there, and then if you bring the downtrend, the current uptrend line from here to here, you could see the pattern that you have in place right now. Okay, so whether we break to the upside or the downside, this is support, this is resistance, this is a quick little target. Okay, so it's just that simple. So I would assume, as you can see from other patterns coming up real shortly here, that we're going to come down, hit this trend line, and then decide what's going to happen at that point. Okay, so that's taking a quick look here at IWM. All right, let's look at COMPQX. And that's going to be our NASDAQ composite here. And, I already have a line in place here, so let's keep that just open right here. Okay, we got a nice little gap right here. And that looks good, that cute little gap right there. But we have an uptrend in place, okay, and it's kind of a funky one, but we're going to get right into it. I'll just run off of this one to keep it nice and simple. So we have an uptrend here, and we have an uptrend mark right here. Okay, so you notice how it's getting a little bit itchy here. And this power up to the upside did not come up and hit this. Okay, so that's very bearish. We do have the 51 at the relative strength index, and you can see it, the relative strength index is trending lower. But at the same time, you do have support here, you do have resistance here. So this big move here didn't come back and all the way hit this and challenge it, which is not good. So we do have this downtrend pattern in place. We have this gap right here. So at the current speed, current rate, drawing your lines out, you can get an idea of what's shaking here. And, it looks like the beginning of February, will start to kick off that gap close line. That's just my perception on this, but we do have support, of course, in the middle here. We have, your 50-day moving average, 100. You have this line here, and you have your 200. So it's going to bounce. Of course, it's going to bounce, and this will act as resistance if we stay in this pattern right here. So we should start trending to the downside and filling all this stuff up here, down here, and then move higher. But once we break this trend line, it's going to get pretty aggressive. So nice job being in the top if you're in at the top going short. We do think the market's going to pull back a little bit here. We'll have to see what happens. All right, let's look at the Dow. All right, Dow looks really good. We're going to leave this pattern in place because I already drew this out because I'm trying to figure things out. But you could see here, we'll zoom this in a little bit more. We popped up off the middle Bollinger Band, which is fantastic. But look what happened. We hit the resistance here at the trend line, and they said, not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right, so we pulled all the way back down, and is just above the bottom of this candle here. Nothing spectacular. So Monday, as you could see from these charts, we're coming down to a downtrend, just for a little while, not too long. As I showed you on, the other two charts, looks like about the end of February we'll turn around and come up to the upside a little bit, but we'll get a nice little dip in the meantime, reset these relative strength index, and figure out what's going to happen next. As you can see, your stochastics, your truth true strength index is heading down. You get a nice little, you get the big high up here, and then you're just starting to tear down a little bit here. You can draw these trend lines on anything and manage them that way, because the trend lines are important, absolutely important, no matter where you put them. Oh, is that a yellow line? What are we doing here? All right, there we go. All right, so I'll just sneak that in here a little bit, and you can see. So that's in a nice downtrend. This is an aggressive downtrend pattern, and we have to work with the patterns. We do not work with the crowds. It's just that simple at Milestone. So who knows what's going to happen, but we're here to tell you that something is. All right, on the S&P 500, we have a target down here. I did a big video that I think many folks saw, and I think we're going to get there. We did recover a little bit on Friday. Options Friday. What do you expect? Those things happen. So are we going to continue to the upside? I don't think so. My indicators are saying no. Some other charts are saying yes. Some folks are saying yes. We're going to 211 this week. And, well, you know what? I'm just going to stay to what I see right now. If this trend line is broken to the upside, then yes, I will agree with you. We're going to 210, 211 to test it again. Okay? If we don't break this trend line, all right, we fill this gap and break this trend line, then guess what? We're going to come down here. All right, that'll take our relative strength index all the way down to 30. You saw the video, and that's Milestone's take on the market for the next couple of weeks. But we're going to do this 1 week at a time, okay? We had a beautiful move here. We made huge money, huge money, huge money, huge money. And we're back in at the top, of course. Why? Because we have to follow all the patterns that we're following. We have the targets. We know what we're trading. We know what we're doing. All right, this is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio. This is your weekly market update, and I will see you in live chat tomorrow. If you're not a member, I am so sorry, but you still have time. Stop in. Have a great day.